Now, why did you want to come to America?
Because actually, I tell you something. When I learned my trade, that one teacher we had, he said, "What you want to go there for? Germany gonna come back again? It was after the war. You shouldn't go to America." But everybody talked America was such a great land.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great land. It was a nice land, not like it is right now. Bunch of baloney is going right now, but I wanted to come to America because all the soldiers they were down there and everything. I talked to some of them. But I want to come to America, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about when you got drafted. Um, what happened there?
Oh
Where
yeah,
did
I
you
was
end
in
up?
Milwaukee. I was here 4 years only. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so all of a sudden I got draft notice, and the draft notice was right on there. If I do not want to take this, you'd have to go back to Germany. Actually, they forced me to go there. And I said, how can I do that? I'm American. I'm not an American citizen. You know. So anyhow, then all of a sudden I talked to somebody up there, and then that sent me a letter. I kept all that. I don't know what I threw that away them days. I should have not. And it says to bring all my stuff from Berlin,
Mm-hmm.
all my papers. We had my pictures on and everything because they were still good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in German.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a German citizen. So I won. I got drafted. I took the draft. I went drafted. I got all that. And then when I got there, they put me at a active sergeant thing down there after my 30 days. So I stayed 5 more months, helped train the new troops because I know machine guns,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Well, can you imagine? I could hardly speak English, right? But anyhow, the next thing we know, the 8th Infantry and goes to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
See, then the whole outfit went to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
But they know what they want to do with me. I don't know. They would never tell me. So I was a German citizen, American Army, American uniform. See, so it brought me over there. When they turned around, they put me out of headquarters. They took me out and put me in headquarters. See? And then I was told to put some civilian clothes on. I even shot my driver's license from there too. I had two officers, and they used to as an interpreter for them
Mm-hmm.
because the Germans had put claims against the Americans and against what they all done. See, we done that. So we had some good things there. So there's some stuff I tell you wouldn't believe this. Yeah, I don't think they want to put this in there anyhow. But like we went down there and on the trains,
Mm-hmm.
got out. Somebody threw some rock on the train in the window and hit the woman really bad. She was really sick. I mean, really bad. So the general of the German railroad put the note against Americans, that we were the ones who done that. See, so them two officers and we went over there. We checked everything out. We were not even over there. We were not even close. You know, we had no soldiers, no nothing out there. See, there was some of them kids who lived there, some was probably cool out. You know. So anyhow, we go in there, and there is, I could never believe such a office he had. That was so nice of me. Oh God. Well, he was the top man for the German
Mm-hmm.
railroads. But he had a secretary there. So I come in there, when she translated everything. She started, I said some wrong word one time. She says, this is not the way it goes. She spoke English. And the two officers, especially the one, they turned around. He said, you speak English? He said, yeah. He looked at the general. He said, yeah. He said, you son of a... You make him translate this when we both speak English?
Mm-hmm.
We come all this way down here to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
We won't pay it anyhow, but, that's why we came down to talk things over. Oh, what she mad? He grabbed him by the throat. The other guy kept him. That's how mad he got.
Mm-hmm.
That she actually translated it,
Mm-hmm.
when they both spoke English.
Yeah.
Oh, what that mad. Oh, that one time we went in there after I was in the army. There's some girl, she claimed that she got raped,
Mm.
you know. But them days over there, the soldiers had to stick around with uniforms. You could not put civilian clothes on because we still occupied Germany,
Mm-hmm.
And they hung around in places so then women go in there, prostitutes,
Mm-hmm.
go in there. Well, anyhow, that one of them, she claimed she went in there, and then they went in the woods, and then she said she got raped. See? So she filed a claim against the army. See, but the guy that just sit, the guy that sit up there, and I was interpreter. So I come down there, and the guy who was driving the car, well, he took the car, but he took the car out of the compound without authorization. See? So anyhow, so we were talking, so I turned around and asked her, I said, you have a car? You know, she said, yeah, because all the prostitutes had to take the test once a month. You know, the walk to hang around in them, where the GIs hang out. So why would you go in the woods when you know where you're going in this place?
Yeah.
You know, where they hang around, you know. But when she said she had the car thing, the judge turned right around, case dismissed. You know, but the guy who took the car out, he got 2 years. That's what they said, and send him back to the States. Yeah. But if they actually done it on end or not, you know, not. But he took it out of the compound where the, you know, the army stuff was, you know. Oh yeah, that's some stuff sometimes. But we were in a lot of places too, though, where we had maneuvers. We had 2 maneuvers, one in the spring, one in the fall. And they used them big tanks and everything, you know, and them GIs and run over that stuff, you know. But some of them towns, they actually fixed themselves up without asking, you know, they asked, you know, we come and checked it out, or we paid them, you know, oh yeah. Them 2 officers I had with, they were really nice. But then then came the other jobs, you know, all of a sudden, when I got over there, they pushed me out, all of a sudden I got TDY orders, I mean, temporary duty orders. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
That's the problem, but they used me then. I could go from West Germany into East Germany with my German papers, you know. And I asked that guy, I said, why don't you make me bring all this junk over here? Why don't you make some? He said, listen, buddy, our enemies are just as smart as we are. And your copies you got even made in Germany here, there might be a little dot there someplace that somebody put in it, we know, but you don't know.
Yeah.
He said, our enemies just as smart as we are.
Yeah.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they sent me over a few times, but I cannot talk about that. So.
Now, how long did you work with the CIA over there?
Oh, just when I was over there. That's all.
Like
just the 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. Just the 2 years when I was over. Oh, that's when I met Heidi. You know, in '57 we got engaged in '57. But that is something I got to find out that I have to call too. But his sister lived in Michigan. But now for somebody mentioned something, we were out and eating Monday when her son was here with his wife over by Calhoun's. That's why I got my fish. And he said that she was went to her wife from her sister first. So I never know that. I have to find that out. I'm gonna call her up because she lives in Michigan here. She is all crippled up too by already, but yeah. That's how I met her. But she wouldn't come over. Remember, when I already made the papers out. I remember going down to the council and make the papers out for her to come over. But she wouldn't come over. But she went evidently used the papers went by her sister. But then I don't know if she met White over here, you know, her ex-husband, or she married him over there already. So I'm gonna have to find that out, and I'm gonna call it one of them days and see what her sister says now. Which I don't care, so they're going anyhow. But I always thought that she got married to him over there. You know, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But now I find out when Tom told me Monday that she lived in Michigan for a while by herself. So maybe she met him over here, then why didn't she come by me?
Yeah.
You know, because I was a Catholic and she was a Lutheran. You know, that was a big deal over there. She came on highborn and they were Lutheran 100%. When I was a Catholic, oh my God, you don't marry no Catholic.
No.
Yeah, that was really something.
When you were over here after the war, how did the people react since you were German?
They were okay.
They were good.
There's no problems at all. There's been time, you know, there's some other things, 7 times. When I became the boss, you know, and says, oh, why would you go back to Germany? You think you know so much, you know? And they called me Nazi. I said, hey, where the hell you come from? Is you a running bear? Running bear?
Mm-hmm.
He said, why you say that? Well, the Indians lived here. You must have came from someplace else. I said, come on. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
this I think was the time when he was when I worked in Haven in the welding department out there. I was a colored guy working there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, yeah. Jim Collins. He was no, what was his name? Oh man, I know his name is like that. But anyhow, he was a colored guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best welder. He was very educated. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when we had a big welding department. You know, so somebody called over and says, "Hey boy, there was something wrong with the machine or something." He called him, "Hey boy."
Mm-hmm.
He got pissed off. He came in the office and says, "I'm quitting." I said, "What?" He said, "I'm quitting." I said, "You said call him a boy."
Mm-hmm.
You know. So anyhow, there was on a Friday. On this Monday, he came in. You know, and I told him, I said, "Hey, you and I, we're gonna go in this meeting room." We had a big meeting room there. And when I walked to open the door and I walked in, I said, "What I'm saying in here right now, I lie like a son of a gun. I would never said."
Mm-hmm.
She looked at me. You know what? You was a big guy. She didn't know what to do. You know. I said, "See what? You let yourself down because you called to somebody, and in their certification. I mean, in the way they're thinking,
Mm-hmm.
you're smart. You went to college. You should know better than that.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't bother you. You
Yeah.
know." But then he came back. Then he came back in there around. He says, "I'm staying."
Mm-hmm.
But then there were 3 shifts then sometimes. And they called me up one time. And they had to go out at night and check some out once in a while. So I went in there, and after that, there was a tavern up there. And they would open up all the way up to 2 o'clock in the morning. And then they open, then they close, and at 6 o'clock they can open up again. Because the different companies, there were 3 shifts. So the guys used to go in there all the time. So I had to go in the shop, and I stopped in on the way home. I stopped in. I was sitting in there. Guess who comes walking in?
Mm-hmm.
He comes walking in, the boss, the black guy.
Yeah.
And turned around and said, "What you doing here?" He said to me, "What you doing here?" Yeah. So we two that they had to drink together. We were the best friends, you know, all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But funny why the thought of it this way, you know. In fact, the problem was first was the colored against the white, and then there was the Mexican against the colors.
Mm-hmm.
They always had some kind of different people thinking different, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really something. Yeah, Erlov. Erlov was his name, yeah. He was quite a guy, but I was surprised that he would let that bother him, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
But he's okay after that. And then, oh, right after, not very after that, that's when I left the Haven, you know, for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is not even in there because they kept my seniority. It's not in there.